Quanta's new ID3000 system is a major advance in the telecommunications and data distribution area. It consists of an insulation displacement connection system and a newly designed main distribution frame. The versatility ranges from medium-sized and large communication racks and housings to main distribution frames for analog and digital exchanges. The ID3000 connection system has a compact design, giving it a much higher packing density than connection systems currently on the market. The new main distribution frame system is a striking departure from conventional horizontal and vertical racks. The design uses only vertical frame elements for attaching all line and system cables, an advantage in computer-assisted administration and handling of cross-connections at digital exchanges. The ID3000 basic rack consists of 4 central frames. High stability is achieved by the use of mounting angles which are fastened in the upper and lower areas with hex screws. An important feature, serrated lock washers under a nut and screw head ensure conductive connection of all rack components. The screw connections are manually tightened at first. After all the angles have been mounted, the central frame is ready for the next step. It's important to ensure that the rack is vertically aligned. Now, all screw connections can be firmly tightened. The prepared frame allows the insertion of bars, used for later attachment of the mounting frames. The bars are mounted on the central frame using hex screws, serrated lock washers and spacers. Cable channels carry the appropriate line and system cables. They are fixed to the central frame with spacers. The cable channels and central frame are fastened together with M6 screw fittings and appropriate serrated lock washers under nut and screw heads. To ensure high stability in the main distribution frame rack, ceiling fastening bars are set in the central frame and screwed to the ceiling. The parts can be pre-assembled on the floor. The ceiling fixing device is suitable for room heights up to 3.80 meters. For lower heights, the appropriate ceiling fastening bars must be shortened. The bars should be inserted at least 300 millimeters into the central frame. Slotted holes allow the distribution racks to be adjusted to the MDF room. Four support brackets are fastened to the central frame. The brackets later take the surrounding guardrails. Using plain and serrated lock washers, all rack feet are screwed to the support brackets. Slotted holes in the rack feet compensate any unevenness in the floor. With saucer head screws, nuts and serrated lock washers, wire guide hooks are mounted on the central frame. These hooks are later used for optimum arrangement of the jumpering wires. Serrated lock washers between wire guide hooks and the central frame permit conductive connection. Stable cable shelves ensure secure cable paths into the line and system areas. Various cable shelf patterns are available for wall and freestanding rack versions. Wire guide rings are employed for cross-connection between the two sides of the distributor. They are pre-assembled on a mounting plate and then screwed to the rack. front and side guard frame elements are pre-mounted on a flat plate. The pre-mounted parts are connected to the support brackets with saucer head screws, serrated lock washers and nuts. The peripheral guard frame protects the disconnection modules. The mounting frames, pre-assembled with profile rails and wire guide hooks, are hung into the central frame and firmly fixed in place using the bars. For subsequent fastening, screws, serrated lock washers, low cap nuts and spacing sleeves are used. When screwing the mounting frames into place, care must be taken to preserve the correct location between mounting frame and bars. The cable channels are given suitable covers. Several main distribution frames can easily be lined up alongside one another. The new ID3000 connection system was designed to meet the increasing demand for compact, high-performance connection systems. During its development, particular attention was paid to substantially increasing packing density while reducing the weight. The range consists of connection blocks for 100, 104 and 128 wire pairs. Double contacts in the disconnection element allow no-break changeover. The contacts are suitable for 0.32 to 0.64 diameter wires. Single disconnection modules are also available for individual combinations to meet specific requirements. The disconnection module consists of the disconnection element with its double contacts and the wire guide housing. Using the Quanta ID3000 main distribution frame, the ID3000 disconnection modules are clipped to profile rails. Connection blocks and main distribution frame thus provide a flexible and compact connection system for telecommunications and data distribution purposes. To use ID3000 disconnection modules on existing main distribution frames, pre-assembled connection blocks can be supplied on base plates. It's possible to insert pre-jumpered mounting frames in an existing main distribution frame rack. The cables can be introduced from above or below, on line or system side as desired. The webs in the cable channel are broken out at the appropriate points. The cables used are to be attached to the mounting frame. The cable wires are introduced from the left into the wire guide channels. The channels of a module are counted from front to rear. A special insertion tool has been developed for the ID3000 connection system. The pulled-through cable wires are connected to the disconnection strip using the tool. The cutting edge of the insertion tool must always point towards the middle of the module. A distinct clicking sound signals correct contact and that the excess length has been cut off. After completion of the wire connection, an appropriate cable cover is attached to the block at the side. The identification strips can be fastened to the cable covers or directly to the clip part of the disconnection element. The screen wire of the line cable is earthed at fastening points on the mounting frame. When shielded system cables are used, there is a fastening hoop to simplify cable mounting and earthing at the main distribution frame rack. Depending on the system cable used, the shielding of the cable is removed for a minimum length of 20 millimeters and attached to the fastening hoop with a clip. Cross connections between line and system side are made on the right side of the block. Here too, the cutting edge of the insertion tool must point towards the middle of the module when wires are being inserted. The wire guide hooks attached to the mounting frame are used to clearly organize the jumper cables. Take care that all cross connections are left loose to make it easier to follow them later when releasing or changing the jumper cables. Use the integrated pulling hook in the insertion tool to remove cable wires and jumper cables from the contacts when changing the disconnection elements of the 8 and 10 pair disconnection modules. Lift the locking hooks at the side to free the disconnection element and pull it out forwards. All wires remain in their cable guide channels. The disconnection element to be inserted clicks into its final position of its own accord. The cross connections can then be rearranged. The wires must be pulled forward to make the new connection. Test and patching leads are available as accessories to the ID3000 system. They can be used to carry out all applicable measurements and tests on the main distribution frame. Disconnection plugs, dummy plugs and marker caps in various sizes and colors round off the range of Quanta accessories. Overvoltage protection magazines are available for both 8 and 10 pair disconnection modules. 2-pole overvoltage protection magazines can be fitted as desired with 2-pole arresters or fail-safes. Fail-safes and arresters are fixed in their stop position with an earth plate. This simultaneously provides the conducting connection to the main distribution frame. If required, fuse inserts can be used. In the 3-pole overvoltage protection magazine, inserted fail-safes are positioned with contact plates. In this magazine, 3-pole arresters are used. Fuses and arresters can be removed from the magazine again in reverse order using the pulling hook. Overvoltage protection magazines are always inserted from the line side of the disconnection modules. The magazine is pushed into the disconnection module up to the final point. Then the lever is turned 90 degrees clockwise to bring the contact springs of the magazine into the operating position. The Quanta ID3000 system is a modern, compact connection system for use in communications and data distribution. The ID3000 system makes an important contribution to lowering costs in new and even in existing distribution equipment. The advantages of the modular ID3000 rack concept are reduction of assembly time, simple mounting and commissioning, trouble-free conversion from freestanding to wall frame, and reduction of cross-connection times with short jumpering paths. Always a good connection from Quanta.